Hello guys, today's video we are going to talk about Docker commands. The last video that we did, we set up and installed Docker. So how do you create a container on Docker? Like I said, Docker is used to create a container that is used to run application and services. Docker does not host operating system. It is used to perform computational tasks. And once the task finishes, it exits. So if suppose now I want to install Ubuntu OS on Docker, so how do I go about it? What is the command to do that? To do that, I'm using sudo because I'm a normal user, so I have to have a temporary privilege to run Docker, privileged user to run Docker. I use the key command run. So I want it to create Ubuntu container. Ubuntu is an image. So when I run this command, Docker will first check the local repository. Do I have this Ubuntu image on my local drive, on my hard drive? If it can't find it, it will connect to the internet and go to the Docker hub. That is a public repository where you find many container images. It will go there and search for Ubuntu image. So once it gets it on the Docker hub, it will download it to my local drive, then create Ubuntu, an instance of it. It will create a container, Ubuntu container. That's how it works. So let's run it. So I put password for my normal user. So it can be temporarily be elevated user in order to run the Docker command. So right now it's checking. Do I have Ubuntu image? I don't have it. Now it's pulling it now from the Docker up. It's downloading it. So if I run another Ubuntu instance, it's not going to get to the internet again because I already have it on my system, on my hard drive. So it's going to create it faster. But because it's the first time now and it's not on my local drive, it has connected to the Docker hub, download it, then it will now run it. So you can see it didn't return error. It has downloaded it, it run. Like I told you that Docker is meant to perform tasks. The tasks that I asked is that just run Ubuntu. It has run Ubuntu. So how do we know that the task was successful, or how do we verify it? There is a command for that, which I'll run now. Put the command docker ps show me running process. Show me running process on my Docker host. So you can see now it return no process is running because the Ubuntu container has exited. It has finished its task and it has crashed. It has exited. So how do we find out? How do we get it? For me to see a container that just finished its task, I need to boot docker ps-a. So it will show me both running and the one that has finished running. So looking at it now, this is Ubuntu. I have two Docker container that I've run, and they can see their status saying exited. So they have performed their tasks. So this is Ubuntu. It ran successfully. Like I told you, Docker does not host operating system, so it doesn't persist. Once it does its task, it will terminate. So what is the situation that I want it to persist? In order to this, I can issue a command. I can embed a command. Why is creating the Ubuntu OS on a container for us? I can ask it to run a command. So how do we do that? Let's do that. Let me record that command again. So it's going to create another instance. This first instance has finished its task, is exited, and creating another instance using the Ubuntu image that I have on my hard drive now. So it's going to create it faster now. Unlike before that, it went to the public repository to download the image. It will create it faster. So after saying Docker run Ubuntu, then I want to append. So I want it to sleep for 5 seconds. So after installing the Ubuntu on the container, don't exit immediately. Persist for 5 seconds. That is sleep for 5 seconds. So let's see. So you see now, that's created it. I'm just having a prompt and it has stopped. Why did it stop? After 5 seconds, it will give me control of my terminal back. It will give me the control of my terminal back. I can't control my terminal. So let's verify it by running PS-A because it has already done its task. So it's not running. So you can see this one that slept for 5 seconds. So it persisted for 5 seconds and it not terminated after 5 seconds. The first one, we did not even see any prompt. But this time I asked it, okay, persist. And once it's persisting, I don't have control of my prompt until when it finishes, then it releases the control to me. I cannot do any other task that I want to do. So that's on that. So now I've shown you two commands, Docker commands. The first is that I want to create a container. I want to run a container. You use a Docker run for that. Then if I want to see a running instance, Docker container instance, I run Docker ps -a -a. That will show me both exited and the one that is running. But if just only the running container that I want to see, PS. So let me say I want it to persist for more than 5 seconds. Let's say for instance now, let me put 100 seconds. So we'll be able to understand it better. So 100 seconds, and I want it to run in the background. So I want to have control of my terminal. So I'll say run it in the background. So this is the container ID. This is container ID. So to show us that it's successfully created, then it has given me control of my prompt, so I can do whatever I want to do now. So let's go and check it with just Docker PS because it should still be running. So you can see now it's still running. So that's why it's showing now. It's a running instance. It's running. So you can see status now up. After 100 seconds, it will terminate. So while it's running right now, supposedly I want to pass a command to it as it's running. I can do that. To do that, I'll use command exec to pass a command to it. So let's pass a command to it. Docker exec. So I have to type the command. What command? Let's just use I'll, I want it to give me the version of OS that's working. That's what I want. Give me. Oh, I need to put the container ID. I need to put the container ID. I want to copy it and put it. So I'm going to put the container ID. Should be here. It's not running. Unfortunately, it has exceeded 100 seconds. That's why I say it's not running. Let's run it again. There was a mistake there. I didn't put the container ID. So let's run it again. Then we get let me put 100 is still okay for us. Then let me copy this container ID. We need it. So the next thing now is to run that command again. Where is that command? Okay, this command. Put space. So I put the ID. Put in the ID. We should be fine now. So you can see it has run it. So how do you know that? My operating system, Docker host is Red Hat Linux. So, and we did what? We installed Ubuntu. So you should be able to give me that. No, it's giving me Red Hat. No, 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 no. It's supposed to give me Ubuntu. Let's check if it's still running. It's still up. So why has it not given me that? Let me check. Seems I made a mistake somewhere. I want to record that. So guys, let me run command from the beginning. I want to command from the beginning. Docker exec. Put the ID there. So what's the command I'm appending to it? Cat etc slash this. So let's check it now. So you can see now is Ubuntu and the version is 24.04. It is because this is the command that we append while we are creating the Ubuntu container. So for the fact that it persists sleeping, but it runs on in the background, it was able to give us to execute the command. So your running container, you can still issue a command to it, and it will execute it by using the exec file. So we're talking about Docker commands. So we talk about Docker run, we have talked about Docker PS, we talk about Docker PS -A, we talk about Docker exec. So let's talk about Docker remove. The instance that we created, which are let me check the order if the instance is still running. So the instance that stopped, it has executed and stopped. So supposedly I want to halt a running instance. I want to halt a running instance. I don't want to wait for it to finish execution to exit. While it's running, I want to stop it. There is a command to do that. So let me run the command again. Let me run the command. Let me run this. And I want to stop it. So let me just run it for 30 seconds. 30 seconds will be so I'm running another instance. That's a new container with this run command. I want to run a container of Ubuntu and I want it to persist for 30 seconds. So let's do that. So I should have boot. It's running right now, but I don't have control of my prompt because I did not tell it to run on the background. So what I can do is that I can just start another prompt. Let me create another prompt. So let's just see sudo docker ps. So let's see if it's still running. So it has stopped running. Okay, fine. So let me go back to my Docker, the first prompt. I'll go back to the first prompt. So let me call it back. So I have to put detach there. Detach means that I want it to run in the background. So I'll be able to have access of my prompt and do whatever I want to do. So let me see the mistake somewhere. Oh, this is not where it's supposed to be. The option is supposed to be after run. So this is it. So it's running right now. So let's confirm it with the PS. So you can see that it's running. So let's say that I want to stop it. Let me copy it, the container ID, and I want to stop. How do I stop it? Docker stop. So with this, it will stop it. It has already stopped it. Let's confirm it. If I say run now, you can see that there's no process running again. It's not running again. If I now say iPhone A, I'll find it. So look at all these running instances. They are on this my hard drive space. The container, they have done their task and they are exited, but they are still on my hard drive. So how do I remove it? To remove it, you have to use a RM, Docker RM. So for me to remove it, I can use the container ID to remove. Let me remove this one for instance. So how do I remove it? I'll do sudo Docker IM with this. I've already removed. Let's confirm it. Let's confirm with this. So you can see that that particular instance has been removed. It has been removed. This is the first one. It has been removed. So if I want to remove it again, and I don't want to use the container ID, I can use the name. So what's the name of the next one that I want to? This particular one, the name is distracted passy. So I can use the distracted passy to remove it. So look at it now. With this now. So if I do Docker PS, you see that it has been removed. So for here now, the two have gone. So I can remove multiple. I'll just put either the name or I put the container ID. Let's say I want to remove this one. I just say for DB space. The second one, 624. The third one, 616. The third one, 816. I can just use part of their container ID. I don't need to type everything. So the first three now, I want to remove it. It has gone. So let's check it. So the remaining two. So that's how to remove. So let's talk about the image, image that we use to create the instances. Let me check. I want to check how many Docker image do I have on my hard drive, on my Docker host. Docker host is the host machine that is running Docker. You call it Docker host. And the container that is running is Docker container. So I want to check now the images that I have, Docker images that I have. So I have Docker images. So you can see I have Ubuntu, I have Hello World, I have CentOS, I have CentOS. So let me show you another thing. I want to show you another command. Let me take you to where the images are pulled from, the public repository where it's pulled, up.docker.com. This is where the images are pulled from. This is a public repository that we have so many Docker images here, container images. So once you want to create an instance of, you want to create a container and you run it on your Docker host, if Docker cannot get it, you don't have the image stored on your hard drive, it will come here and search for it here. Come here and search for it. Let me Ubuntu that let's search for Ubuntu. So you can see these are many images of instances, many images that we can use. But let's use the official one, which is the first one. So you click it here. So that's one that downloaded and created for us. So look at these tags now. By default, when we check it, Ubuntu 24.04 what it was installed. Suppose that I want to install another version. So for instance, let's say I want to install 22.04. How do I do that? So let's go and install that. Let's go and run particular that. Let's go and create a container for that. So let me get the number again. So you want this 22.04. 22.04. So what do I do? Sudo docker. Now I'm not doing run, I'm doing pull. I want it to download it, to download the image. Don't run it, just download it. I want it to be saved on my local hard drive. So download it. So use pull command pull. If I use run, it will download and create it, the container. But I don't want the container to be created. I just want it to do what? To download it. So I use pull. So now the image name Ubuntu, then colon the tag. These are tags. So I want 22.04 is a tag. So I put 22.04, right? Let me check, let me confirm. So this tag. So I press enter. So it will just download it. Download it. So it's not going to run it. It's not creating it. It's just download it. So anytime I want to create a Docker, a container with this version, I will now run it, which is already on my local drive. It's on my hard drive. I'll run it. So can you see? The latest is the one that we have been using. So the tag now is, so how do I run it? Let me say I want to run this version of Ubuntu. How do we run it? To run it, I just use sudo docker run background. I want this background. Ubuntu colon. Don't forget, I'll not attach the tag. 22.04. This will run it. It has run. So let's confirm it. So look at it. This is it here. This is it here. So now I want to delete if I want to delete image, before I can delete the image, I need to stop and delete the instance of that image. If I want to, for instance, delete the Ubuntu image now, I want to delete the Ubuntu, I'll just say Docker RMI, remove image. I'll now put the name. Let me say this one I just did now. Ubuntu colon 22.04. Say enter. To give me error, why? I still have the instance on the hard drive, although it has exited. But for the fact that the instance is still on the hard drive, I will not be able to delete it. So for me to delete it, I need to remove this instance. So let's remove this instance first. Docker rm. So let me use the name exciting. Right. So it has been removed. It has been removed. It has been removed. It's no more here. So let's now remove the image. We don't have the instance again. It has been removed. Let's check, confirm it. Docker images. You can see that we don't have it. It's the one that we have been using before now that is there. So if I want to remove this one, I may not use the name. I may use just part of the ID, image ID. I use part of the image ID. So see sudo docker RMI is the image that I want to remove. And make sure that there is no run instance. You don't have any run instance, or else you'll not be able to remove it. So this particular one, I can't remove it because I still have instance of it. You can see it. Yeah, they are still here. So I need to remove this first before I can remove the image. So guys, that's on Docker commands. See you, like I said, you have to be practicing this for you to confidently say you understand each of these topic I'm teaching per video. You need to get your hands dirty. And download, install Red Hat Linux on VMware or use AWS, create virtual machine, install Red Hat Linux there and start doing what? Executing these commands. That is how you can see that you have learned it and you can confidently say, I can work with Linux operating system. Cheers, guys.